Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elena from SMA Kusuma Bangsa, Palembang, and I will be your leader of opposition of the opposition team for today. Now, my job as a leader of opposition is to announce our case division, to rebut, give a solution, elaborate on our arguments, and then link back towards the motion. Now, our stance as the opposition team is that we do not regret mergers or acquisitions. Now, on to our rebuttals. Now, the first speaker said something about how the customers' privacy limits are violated and there's no consent to the new company. But here's the thing, they have a new terms of service every time you merge. So this means that if the customer chooses to not read the terms of service, it is on the customer and not the company or the merger's fault. Next is how they mentioned something about how peer pressure and forced to consent towards the new terms of services. This is not a valid reason why a merger is not valid, or a valid reason why we should not encourage merging in Indonesia's companies. The third is privacy infringement and the whole selling data for ads. We agree with this, and we do agree that there needs to be new laws put in place in order for us to combat this, and new policies. Next is they mentioned something and stated something about how Facebook and Instagram has access to our mics and therefore can cater towards our needs and our wants for our advertisements. This is false, and it has been proven false by the CEO of Instagram themselves, because Facebook and Instagram mostly relies on algorithm and interaction to cater towards their ads. Next is how they mentioned something about how privacy infringement is bigger in magnitude in merged companies, but security measures are even bigger in merged companies because they have more to lose. So this is not a valid reason. Now, they have three points of why a merging would happen. First is to eliminate competitors, but here's the thing, Indonesian company law prohibits mergers that may lead to monopoly. So in Indonesia, this is not valid because the law keeps us from getting monopolized in every sector by a merged company. The second one is wider access to consumers' data. Again, we agree, and we do agree on the implement of new policies for this. The third is to increase the value and appeal to foreign investors, and how smaller companies in Indonesia has less incentives to improve. But here's the thing, the FDI is prohibited from engaging in sectors that are reserved for CMSME by the new investment law. And only Indonesians can be holders of a PT. And there's also a thing called the negative investment list, in which there are companies that foreign people cannot invest in. Now, there was another point about how this eliminates the options for consumers. But here's the thing, with too much competition in the market becomes oversaturated, which means the price is lower, the wages lower, the quality lowers. Without a merger, the oversaturated market becomes so saturated that everything just lowers in order to compete to themselves. But here's the thing, with a merger, with a big company in tow, we can keep the market from being oversaturated to that point. Now, the last point I will address is how labor violations gets worse. But here's the thing, Indonesian laws exist. Indonesian labor laws exist, such as the manpower law, labor law, etc. So we are already protected by the law. Now, I will go on to my solutions. Our solution is to maintain the status quo and put new laws in place in order of privacy and stricter labor laws. Now, what is a status quo? What is our status quo? Our status quo is that in Indonesia, a merged company has to have a minimum of 2 shareholders and has to obey to KPPU laws, and it prohibits mergers that may result in a monopolistic market. We would like to keep this mindset, and we would like to keep this setting going forward. Now, onto my arguments. I have 3 arguments that I will address, and then the rest I will delegate to my second speaker. My first argument is about quality and workers. My second is about international market and growing. And my third is about a higher quality of living. Now, my first argument is how Indonesia has 51.7 million people who work, and 22.65% of them are in the industry sector. Now, they make around 3 million to 54.2 million max. With a merger, this means there's a bigger work sector, there's more job openings, and this lowers the unemployment rate in Indonesia that is currently on the 7.07% of all eligible adults. Now, our IPM, or our quality of workers, is only at 0.53, which is very low, and we rank 87 out of 157 countries. With a merger, we can make this better. We can go up the ranks, if you will. Because a merger would require a better quality of staff, and they would give these staffs training to help with worker output. Now, this would help with our IPM because with more training, our people would be much more suited towards jobs. With more skills, we would have a higher per capita income, which is currently at 56.9 million per capita, and that places us at 99 out of 190 countries. Now, for example, Goto said that they would contribute 2% to Indonesia's GDP, and this is a big number for just one company. And that's why we don't regret mergers or acquisitions. Now, onto my second argument. My second argument is about growing towards an international market. Mergers cannot monopolize in Indonesia because it would break the law. Mergers should only merge if there is a rival in the market. For example, Goto has Grab. Now, Goto has been said to be the biggest collab of two service and internet companies in Asia. It is worth 490 to 560 trillion rupiah, further getting support from companies such as Alibaba and SoftBank. It has seen 8.2 billion from investors. Now, what good does this do to the country? Our unemployment rate goes down. Our per capita income goes up, and this contributes towards taxes. Currently, the industry sector contributes 224.9 trillion towards taxes, and the communication sector contributes 92.19 trillion. Now, Goto is going to contribute even more. If we encourage merging in Indonesia, this means that there's going to be more big countries, and we can further push down our unemployment rates, higher our per capita income, and still make money for our taxes income. Now, on to my last argument about the higher quality of living. Higher quality of living is the level of satisfaction regarding activities and corporate environment for employees. Now, in a merger, a company is more efficient, and this lowers the cost of operation. With the lower cost of operation, this means they get more profit, and they get a higher wage, and they get a better quality of living. Now, not only does the higher wage improve a worker's quality of living, it also leads to more spending, and this boosts demands. Because of the boost demands, we get to circulate money around the economic sector, and this means more job openings. Now, these are a few reasons why this House believes this House does not regret mergers or acquisitions. Thank you.